And
And hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tales of the Forgotten Sea, where this bunch of beautiful people playtest this brand new roleplay game of my creation. And we had a very interesting and very, I will say, roleplay intense session last time, where I try my best to impersonate two very strong-minded and powerful women that are definitely not me, and I, let's say, help my player to navigate situation where leadership and subterfuge was the most important things. We got very, very, very close to a fight situation that was avoided thanks to a very, very good, I would say, plan by Rock and Miguel Jarvis. They influence the tide, I will say. And yeah, and now what we have is a very important lady, a very important member of the Vorachis family from Obolawa on board of the Swifty also known as the Swift Wind in the language of the tides, the common language in this world setting. And she's supposed to be cargo, or at least until further notice. But let's see how this will change over the course of this session. We have our first week in the open sea. We left the Misty Sea behind. We got finally in the Fithale Ocean. We got quite the intense storm. Something that maybe prelude for something else later on. We'll see about that. And we are now facing another couple of weeks of traveling. Another couple of weeks that will start immediately. But let's see what my player are doing on board of the ship for the next 2 weeks. So we're gonna go first.
if you guys are good, I'll go first.
Rock, the
All
place
right,
is yours. The
sure.
stage is
The
yours.
the conscious mind. I will. So I we were last really. I was talking to Captain Alvida about various things. I want to know when she thinks it's appropriate for me to approach Lady Verace and attempt to do the thing I'm good at, or at least mostly good at.
I will say, like, if you remember from the last episode, we discussed that she said leave her
Right.
alone for a couple of days. Like we leave Rotham behind,
Let her
and
cool
also,
off. Let her, talk
you
to
know,
the lady
you know,
downstairs. Okay.
yes, exactly. She's with Geraldine, and let's see how it goes with that. Plus, you had during the first week this intense storm that was
Right.
rocking the boat, let's say. So I don't think the stay down and just chit chat with someone was the
No,
main
I
focus.
believe I said in chat, which we didn't get to talk about because there's certain times where I can't talk, but that I was going to spend my time helping navigate because that was what I feel Rock would want to do.
Yeah, yeah. I saw it. We didn't get the chance to talk about it, but yes, absolutely.
Okay, so yeah,
So
he was very busy at that point. So
yeah, and I don't think anyone just blames you for not going down there because everyone was very, very busy at the time. So let's doing a couple of things because you're starting. Let's see how the second week goes.
okay.
So, uh, and based on that, you maybe have a different outcome, or maybe you're going to have, a different approach on the situation. And that doesn't go only for you, but for everyone.
Right. Okay.
So, just to make sure that everyone is on board with that, I need you to roll me 3d6s and tell me the amount. There is no other bonuses, maluses,
Just the amount.
just the amount.
Okay. The amount is 13.
Okay. Hmm, interesting. So, Pitel, Pitel Ocean. As I said last time, the name of the ocean is in honor of Pitel the explorer, the first one that crossed the archipelago long, long time ago. It's a cold slash equatorial kind of climate. Um, the ocean lies between extreme, from a very cold northern current that come from Ugre and the scorching equatorial sun that come from the south. So here the season like blurred together. You are in the middle of the month of Oshi and the ninth month of the year, and we are getting into winter,
Oh, great.
fall, or autumn, if you prefer, at this point. So with a 13, hmm, give me 1 second. Why I cannot find? Oh, because I'm looking at the wrong one, of course.
You're on the wrong layer.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong layer. Exactly that. So sorry about the wait.
No problem.
Hmm. Let me draw and your week begins with stillness. The kind that feels almost like deliberate. The air around you thickens, heavy and almost electric. It's almost like the sea turned to a dark glass. The movement is still going on. The wind push your sails without any problem. But that is also almost like omen of something's coming. You are you are not into the high of the storm yet, but you will be soon. And everyone on board feel the tension. Everyone on board is like, we are doing this, but we need to be ready. After last week, another storm. It feels a little bit too, hmm, almost something else is coming, something even worse. So I would like to everyone to roll me a religion check
Oh,
or history, if you prefer.
I think I have neither, so this is gonna be great. So just pure wisdom, right there.
Yeah.
Uh,
So highest, lowest, no exploding sixes, add the bonuses. But everyone can roll. So please.
All right, 1 second.
I got a total of a 9.
Hold on.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Education is not something that I focused on in my life on the streets.
No, no, no. However, this one it wasn't a very difficult roll.
I got
Uh,
a
I,
total
I'm
of I
I'm
got a total of
waiting for the
15.
others just to
Yeah.
have
I rolled a 9.
another nine.
I have
Yes,
a total of
on
15
history.
in history.
I'll say I rolled a 9 on
Okay,
history.
and a 15. Okay, so
That's six, two fours plus one.
Nice.
hmm, at the beginning, those storms feel like, oh yes, it's probably because we are in the middle of the ocean. It's beginning of to be the fall season. Yeah, it's probably that. But Jarvis, you know better. Even if you are spend most of your life inland into Ugre, you know about this event because it's an event that concerns the whole archipelago. And instinctively, you start to hum a song that you heard many, many times in many, many different ports. The storm will rise. The storm will rise. That's what the songs say. And as soon as you start to hum it and etc., other people on board started to catch up with that, and you too, because you have suffered through this all your life. Everyone does. We are getting close to Oshun Day. One day a year, the goddess of chaos and destruction is free on the world.
Great. Fantastic.
And she is the goddess, one of the three goddesses of the sea. And you started to do calculation. You're going to reach Aegeus, if everything is okay, 2 or 3 days before Oshun Day. And that will be, if there is no problem on the way.
So, seeing as Miguel has lived his life in the archipelago and may have heard stories, what does the goddess of the sea? What does she like to do on Ocean Day? Can I try to think on stories or
Yeah. I will say this. Jarvis is the one that actually know this better.
Hmm.
Is
Oh,
the one that, with that 15,
yes.
got more information about it. So I will, David, if you don't mind,
Mm-hmm.
I will just say, take a little bit of liberty and use Jarvis to deliver those information.
Uh, yeah, Miguel will ask, does anyone know exactly? He would probably go over and says, hey, you guys know anything about Ocean Day coming up or the goddess of the sea?
Oh, I
You,
not that I'm aware of.
I,
you come to Jarvis,
yeah.
and he's been working on making himself a shield out of some barrels that he's broken up. He's taking the wood and breaking the metal bands, and he's rewrapping the wood into this triangular shaped shield that he can wear on his left arm, and also still take off and put onto his back.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, that it's a day that I didn't really fully understand when I was younger. We didn't really affect us up north in the big winter lands, but it would usually come a few days afterwards. The storms would make their way up that way, and when I got down down to the sea, my first time experiencing it, it finally made sense to me. I had done some research about it, and from what I've been able to gather, the goddess just she finds her freedom. She she finds a boat and she sets sail randomly throughout the ocean, popping up wherever she likes and just kicking up the most wild storms, giant whirlwinds of wind and water and clouds that just can suck anything up. Whole boats, massive boats, right up into the air if she
I
so
thought,
chooses, and just crash them down wherever she wants. She just it's like a dog that's been kept in a house for too long and let it out. It just goes wild, tearing everything apart. And her fury knows no bounds. The storms rage for quite a while. They take over entire areas. Like I said, they eventually find their way north and throw massive amounts of snow, which is it's good and bad for us up there. It's what drives the animals into their rest. Um, and but it's a couple days of just brutal winter. And so out on the sea, being in port, it's one thing. But being out on the sea, it's dangerous. If we can't get to land, then any god, any magic, anything that you know to pray to, sacrifice to, do it because quelling her emotion if she decides to fall upon this area that we're in, uh, it would mean the end.
So, okay. When is this event supposed to happen?
The
Um,
15th day of Oshi.
and now is
So
right now is the ninth. You said
um, no. This is right now. We are at the beginning of the ninth month.
okay.
Okay,
We have two
so
weeks.
we are still a couple of weeks. It's like just we are transitioning between the eighth and the ninth month, and so
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
enter the month of Hoshi, and when we got to the 15th of the month, that's Oshun Day.
Yeah, so it's a lead up, even though she's still not fully out of her cage, as it were. She starts kicking up the winds, kicking up the rain, and it can go for a few weeks before and even sometime afterwards. And again, it can be on top of us or it can be completely clear, and you might be able to see terrible storms off, uh, in one direction or another. But you cannot you can't rest on your laurels. We have to be prepared from now until we can get someplace safe.
Uh,
Because the day will come, hopefully after we get to port, but it will still be rough.
So, so basically, no distractions. We get there as fast as we can,
Yep.
safely as we can, because we don't want to
Hmm.
damage the boat and get laid
Hmm.
over somewhere, right?
Hmm.
And just once we get the information we need, we should really like hunker down in wherever we are and ride out the Lady Storm. Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
Usually, on this time of the year, we usually stay inside for those few days. We don't usually no one goes outside. I've never
Yeah.
been on the open sea.
Now, how
Well,
long does this last? Because it sounded like from Garvis's description, it sounded like it could be a week. So it is, or is it just a few days?
So Ocean Day is just one day. The
Okay,
reason why it's called like that, and it's
okay.
24 hours.
But it's
The
like the
Ocean,
worst storms that you can. Okay.
the
Yep.
the like the concept of the perfect storm. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
above that. This is
Okay.
something like a cataclysmic event, and it happens once a year.
All
hmm
Okay.
right.
Um,
it doesn't take over the entire ocean, I would imagine, but it takes over massive portions of the ocean.
yes,
Yeah. So again, it's it can't take over everything because she wouldn't want to destroy everything, but she really wants to shake up, eh, make people afraid that it could fall on them. It could
Okay.
be.
So
and
just don't be on
for
the ocean. Got it.
the week in between, like the few days before and a couple of days after, there are celebration. They're
Mhm.
not just, like the people are not happy.
Right.
It's
Right.
like they just
Yeah,
get
yeah,
prepared.
yeah.
Okay.
They're they're
So
they're
Is there
partying like the end is coming, and then after it's gone, they're partying because they're still alive. But again, it seems like you're saying that there is a weather build up to that day. Like the
Yes,
weather can get worse and worse from here on.
can it will? It sounds like
Hmm.
it's going to.
We
All
are
right.
also completely out to sea. So unless we come against something, some uh, uh, anomaly,
yeah,
we're just out to sea, and if the sea is calm, then we're okay.
yeah.
right.
The thing is, as I said, the at the moment the sea is calm, is like a glass.
Yeah, yeah.
But you also, for especially for the most expert sailor, you know that this is is the calm before the storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Well,
Um,
it's
You can do the rest of the weekend interaction as you guys please. I wanted just to set the scene.
right.
Yeah.
I
There's
think.
there's
Go ahead.
really not a lot that we can do about it at this point, other than just make 100% sure that everything is tied down, ready, fixed, you know, uh, and backups are available. So that's, and I think we've been working on that for, we've been fixing everything since the last storm, and so we should just stay on top of that.
I will go and talk to Elvita and well, I'm gonna go talk to Elvita.
Yeah.
all right.
You'll find the captain on deck at the moment. She is also, because she knows what's coming,
Okay.
getting ready. It's like she's asking everyone to, secure barrel, check that everything is,
Okay.
we have everything ready, to make sure that the ship in, like working at maximum capacity.
All right. So
Clockwork.
yeah. So
Well,
I will be the person that is aspiring to try to do boat stuff. We'll ask Captain Elvita about like OSHA day preparations. Is there anything I can do besides the task that you gave me to do that I can help with? I've
how
never
good,
ridden
how
this out
good you
before.
are with your highs and hears.
He that's some of his best talent. So yeah.
Okay, because I need you to be on lookout.
Okay.
Because what a lot of people don't remember about Ocean Day, that storm is not the main things. Every sea creature, it's rampaging, and they can be much more problematic than everything else. If you see any something, every like a strange shape, a shadow, whatever, or behavior of things like, oh, why dolphin goes, current there goes this way,
Okay.
they go other way. I don't care. I want you to report it, because they can be a bigger problem. If we run into, uh, you know, something like a bank of fish, no problem. If we go and we crash against pleasure rocks, yeah, that's fight. And
Okay.
those things are big as they ship.
So, okay. So what Rock will do is when there's nobody up at the lookout, he'll go up and do the lookout. But when there is someone on lookout, he will go and talk to the lady downstairs. So that's his play.
Yeah, I mean, there are you guys on
Right,
rotation.
on a
It's not
rotation. Yeah.
just, yeah, yeah. There is like, you have your shift, you're doing it for some hours, and you go to rest, and etc. etc. It's a work.
Right.
It's not like you're on that spot forever until you die.
I'm just picturing him on lookout. He probably lets his hair down, literally, and like it probably just that's
Okay.
what I picture.
The small tiny
Watching different
eye of your
directions.
snakes are
Yeah.
not the best perception that you can do, but
True. It's work.
definitely help.
Just try it.
Yeah, they try their best. One of them is not really willing to, is
Yeah,
like
he's probably asleep.
sleep, but you know of
Yeah,
it.
it's all right. We didn't give him anything important to watch. So,
And so you go down and you interact with the following scene.
okay. So, once again, I will passing the spotlight shortly. I just want to do the scene. Um, so I'm
Uh,
gonna go ahead.
yeah, just to set the scene as I did before. You go down, and instead of the classic dark pitch black cargo hold where you cannot see anything, and the only small light is this candle at the end of it, you actually enter in a area that is quite well illuminated, with a sofa well arranged, with perfectly, fixed and etc. sheets and etc. for someone to sleep on, a little table with a tea set, and Lady Vorashi sitting on the sofa with a book, reading, slightly put on the sofa, almost like it's a chaise longue, and enjoy your time,
Yeah.
while you feel like you look instinctively for where is Geraldine in all of this, and you feel like she is this almost like a spider in the corner, just staying away from the light. Like, I don't want to be here, but um, she is there.
It's like having a weird roommate. Okay, gotcha.
Like, yeah, like having this things that is like, why she's here? Why she's bothering my private space? That's the vibe that gets out of it.
Well, this is great. Okay. Oh, man. All right. I will uh knock on the is the door open, I assume? So I'm just gonna sort of
There is
knock
no
on it.
door
I don't
on
want
the
to be
house.
rude, so I'll just knock and let them know I'm
Just
coming.
just stairs. So
Yeah.
you knock on the wood, and you just walk in.
Yeah.
And Lady Vorashi just close her book, put it down on the table, raise the cup of tea. Hello?
Hello. I'm sorry, we didn't really get off on the right foot. Did you can we talk? Is if you don't mind. I know you're in the middle of your book right there.
The interruption was already been done, so please sit down.
Um, he'll this is a little bit of a gambit on his part, but he'll reach into his like basically his jacket and it'll pull out the bottle, the half drunk bottle of her homeland's wine, and he goes, I kind of snuck this downstairs. I thought you might be bored of the tea. Puts it down on the counter.
Oh, she put the tea on the side, and there is other uh, little cup there, very
Yeah, yeah.
very nice, decorated. So she gestured towards one of them.
Okay. Um, he will be gentlemanly like and pour it out for her, and then he'll pour himself one.
She just lift it, but wait and
No,
look at you until you drink.
it's fine. He will. I mean, he's not going to get drunk because he's got lookout duty later. But it's like he'll drink it and show that it's not poisoned or
Mhm.
something, and he'll just like sip on it and like he'll demonstrate that it is not at all poisoned.
No, 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 of course. But she just wait until
Habit. Yeah, no, habit. I get it. So I'll drink it up. Goes, no, that's you're under the protection of the captain. Why would I do that?
why would you? Exactly. That's a question that I'm asking myself since I'm on board. Why would you? Why would you keep a piece of paper that doesn't have much of value for you so close? You told me. Oh, it's just something from back in the day I was curious about, and etc. Um, between me and you, Mr. Rock, I didn't believe that. So the question still is, why would you? However, I don't think you are here for talk about that. So please.
All right. Well, if we're going to be direct about things, I'm here to talk to you about the thing that I offered before, which is you were involved, um, is finding the Shadow Consortium, tracking down leads, and that I might be able to help you. And so I wanted to talk about how more about them because if I follow my lead that I might have, I don't want to walk in blind.
Hmm, okay.
If you
Some.
if you want the direct approach, there's the direct approach.
Oh, I like the direct approach, Mr. Rock. Um, I would say I grew up with that kind of approach. My father was a man of few words and more action. Mm. I can't say the same for my husband, but you know. Um, what can I say? I'm still looking for them. You have a plan, I presume.
I do.
Care to explain, or do you want something else from me? Because at the moment I hear suggestion but not question.
Are you saying you want to know more about the plan, or are you saying what exactly are you trying to ascertain here?
What do you want from me? And what you going to do to help me? Those are the things that I am trying to
What
understand.
what I want from you is pretty simple. It's Garvis owes you a debt. Garvis is, he'll make a face, a friend of mine, and I wish him not to be in your debt. I also wish for the captain to not be tangled up in you or your family's legacy. I want it to be just we find these people, we clear we clear the debt that we owe you, and things just move on from there.
Very good. As I said, direct approach. Hmm. Jarvis, is the pale man that
The
what?
pale blue man, yeah. Yep.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Interesting character.
He
Uh,
is. Again, you see almost a pained look of, when you have a friend, but you're like, so makes that kind of face. He is impulsive, and
mhm.
he did a bad thing.
And I presume you're not.
I am impulsive in different ways, but not that one.
Hmm, okay, okay.
Everyone has their impulses.
Absolutely. Who I am to shame someone else's impulses. I just wonder, okay, you want me to, you know, find a solution and collect my death and move on. I'm okay with that. How are you gonna help me to do that?
I am going to risk getting in contact with these people through a connection that I may be able to get a hold of, and then find basically follow that lead to where a cell might exist. I don't know, however, having only brief contact with them, how their organization works. And so I don't want to walk into that and not know the things I need to know.
Okay, sounds reasonable. Also a little bit vague, I would say. I got the impression, and forgive me if been mistaken, do you guys were more confident about your contact and such like? Mm, is that correct or?
I am confident in the fact that there is a contact that exists in the area that I believe they're in. With the knowledge that I have and contacts that I have within the city, I should be able to find him. So using my contacts to find the contact that I had.
Hmm, okay. So we know that you know a contact, you know that you know a area where you eventually can find, and we know now that this contact is a male person, or at least that what the
Rock will realize
description.
that he is out of character. Rock will realize he's like, oh crap, two social people having a fight. Okay. He goes, fair, you managed to pull out the fact that he was a male contact. That's unfortunate on my part.
That is also she knows now that you have a location that it's a there is a few things that she's
Right,
getting
no, no,
out
but
of you.
but if I don't give her some information, it's way more suspicious, and she
Absolutely.
she won't trust me at all. Like,
So good. Everything sounds like as I said, quite reasonable and very well put. Now, what do you want from me? Because you keep asking, you want to go in with more information, with more knowledge. How me, a humble lady from Obolawa, help you with that? She is smiling.
You, first of all, now she's playing the deception part. He will smile and goes, "Yes, you're right. As a humble lady from Ebola, you you might not have all the information I need. However, you are a well-known lady from Ebola, and you would have people that know people to get me that sort of information. Also,
Mhm.
and he'll take a pause for a second. He goes, we there is a case of why it took you so long with your level of influence to really look for these clues."
Okay, that's a fair question. I gave you a clue about that just a few minutes ago, but I will be more clear about it.
I'm glad because we're clear. We're making a connection here, right?
Yes, of course, we're making
Okay.
a connection.
Uh, continues to pour. He's having
Uh,
it's a conversation.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. She just
sure.
finished her
Yeah,
little cup of
that
wine,
was
so
about
when
then.
you
Yeah.
spill it again, she's just going to sip it again without any problem.
Yep.
Um, so, as I said, um, my father was a man of action. I couldn't say the same for my unfortunate husband.
Oh.
And unfortunately, because of that, my that side of my family didn't entrust him with a lot of money.
Okay. I'm getting the picture now.
So most of the wealth that I possess right now, it's I will say something that I built it with a lot of effort. Yes, the Voraci family is a very wealthy and well-known name.
Ah, now it
Not
is.
everyone
Right.
in the Voraci family has the same wealth and the same power. Don't you wonder why I live in a different country than my family?
Okay. So, you didn't start the hunt until you had acquired enough wealth and power to be able to proceed.
Also, you got another clue there. That maybe can help you to build the entire picture, shall we? I had a child to take care of. Not just an husband, not just a family. Blood of my blood. He was my life. It was my reason to leave everything in the past and build something new. So, why should I spend money and effort on dig out the past when I have the future in front of me, growing a little step every single day?
As you have that conversation, because it's a give and take relationship, as she's saying these things, Rock's face sours and goes, "I'm sorry, Countess. I don't." Whose name? Her. She was a countess, right? Just make sure. I, I find it hard to relate to that, being the situation I had growing up. So I do apologize that I don't connect things properly at times.
What's your name?
You asked Rock what his name is?
Yeah.
Okay. He goes, Rock Dustakar.
Hmm. Dust car or the scare?
Does care. Sorry. That was me.
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. No,
Does,
no. I like this interaction, so I'll
okay,
keep it.
okay. Does care.
The scare. Oh, that explains quite a bit, Mr. Rock. I cannot relate to your growing up, at least not in the first few years of my life. But I know what it means to be an orphan. So, unless we have that in common.
The really friendly conversation turns a bit sour when he mentions like, oh, raising a child. It's like, oh yeah, that'd been great. It just looks. Um, okay, so
Oh,
that's
by the way, she's keep
no,
drinking
yeah, that's fine.
without, any problem at the moment.
Right, okay. So what have I learned? I've learned a bit about why she hasn't done it. A lot of it involving the raising of the child and the building of the finances and her husband's lack of motivation in the matter. So that's not, so that explains quite a lot of that question. Um, okay. I'm gonna roll it back around. Right. But you have those resources now, which is why you set the trap and why you invited people. By the way, I do have a question about the inviting of the people. Did you invite specific people, or did you just send a general invite, or was it a combination of both?
It was a combination of both. And speaking of the trap, that was kind of a last resource. I spent quite a bit in order to get my hand of information that could be very good in order to lure these people in. Acquiring the statuette per se and the estate was already a mass investment. And I also trusted a couple of people that hmm, didn't have my best interests at heart. Let's put it like that.
Oh, okay.
So I lost also some monetary found in this operation that I will make back. As I said, money, I can make more of them. I just need time. Anything else?
Okay. We asked about that. Knew he'll go through his, because he's had one or two. He's just thinking about it. All right. So we are okay with the fact that I will, and with the help of my party, help locate these people for you.
Mm-hmm.
And what exactly are we supposed to do after we've located them? What would your, I know you probably not good intentions, but what are your intentions once I have found them?
I, as I said, I'm a person of action, and then I think that someone else on this ship, and she look behind you, can be very persuasive on taking information out of people. A little bit intimidation and fear for their life maybe will give me the things that I need.
Okay. At this point, because we have a lot of groundwork. Oh, wait, I'll wait until you're done. Sorry.
Yeah, no, no. I was going to say someone's behind you
Yeah.
is now very close.
Oh, jeez.
He's not
I
looking at
don't.
you, but you feel the presence. It's
I
like
know. I
he's
know.
there.
I know. I just Rock will kind of do one of these like kind of nervous looks over his shoulder. Yeah, but I feel like they would kind of enjoy that. So it's not like it's a task that she will hate. It's just a task that'll just be involved in. You know. Um.
The very cold, very clawy, very pointy hand of Geraldine is on your shoulder now, and she just whispers, "Thank you."
He
You
he's
squeeze a little bit and leave it.
okay. He will be a little unnerved, but he will just sort of acknowledge that it seems like the plan is okay with her, and to put his head turned back this way, trying to ignore that moment. And I will attempt to, now that I have a lot of information, that the fact um, that she seems okay on board with this idea and things like that. I'm gonna try to persuade on her about like as a whole, the plan is to get me and my group involved with them, and then eventually bring this person back and have Geraldine talk to them. that's that's the word. Uh, that seems like a good plan on her part too, probably. So
Yeah.
okay,
Uh,
and go
if
ahead.
you think about it, this is pretty much a plan that she's building with you.
Right, right. And occasionally she'll try. I feel like she'll try and slip in something, and I'll be like, "No, not that. Don't you know?" You know? It's just like it was one of those things where it's like, and he's very carefully wording things like, "At Garvis and the boat and my, we're gonna be clear of this."
Uh-huh.
Okay, and
Then
you know, okay,
I will ask you just to close this
yep,
with a ribbon, let's say.
yeah, with the ribbon on it.
Let's have a roll.
Okay,
Persuasion or deception. I let you choose.
persuasion.
And yeah, okay. Based on what you choose, I was saying the outcome and the difficulty will be different.
Okay, I feel like she does not trust him for a while, and it was he's trying to build a relationship, but it's really shaky. So deception sounds like a terrible idea. So we're gonna go with persuasion.
That sounds good for me. Let me roll.
And I give Rock a critical token in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Persuasion.
And
You
it's
hear
not
me?
mandatory. I'm asking you, there is a way that you think Garvus is helping, or maybe it's even something you did before, because right now you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do like a
Uh,
flat? Oh, sorry, I'll let you decide. Go ahead.
um, maybe before Rock went into the meeting with
Mm-hmm.
her, maybe he said, hey, I know we have our differences, but I think that she's really an honest person. So try to take that in a little bit and work with her.
Okay.
Uh, I think you're the right person for this job. So I think that opening up to her and dealing with her like that might really work out. Um,
Sounds good for me. So, what's your result?
Okay, so I haven't rolled it yet, but I'm rolling 4 dice for presence and 3 dice for persuasion, so 7 dice.
plus that
Excellent.
one.
Plus the
Plus the
oh,
critical token, so you got a big fat 3 dice that can explode.
okay. So I don't get do I actually get an extra die from the critical token? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Okay,
yes.
so
So
eight
you got
dice
You get eight.
8 dice, and 3 of those dice can
can
explode.
explode. Got it. All right, and then yeah, no, I was just gonna suggest that they had a moment before he went down into the basement where him and Garvis are like, all right, how's this gonna go?
Let's discuss about this.
All right, I'm gonna roll now.
Perfect.
Mm, Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Rock did a thing. Let's see. Let's was it 3 dice, right? For
Three dice
persuasion?
can explode. And how much is your persuasion?
My,
Three.
yeah, my persuasion is 3.
So you can keep 4 dice because one of them is the critical token.
I'm so glad that I can keep 4 dice because none of them were sixes,
Hmm.
out of 8 dice. So
That can happen.
it can happen. So let's see. 5, 9, 9 and 4, 13, 13 and 4, 17, 17, and his presence bonus is 3, 20. Still impressive, but not, gigantic.
Okay, okay, 20. So, yeah, according to my, you guys, just so you know, when you guys roll, and we never discussed this, I have my table of target numbers, so you guys can,
Yeah,
reach a difficulty of hard, very hard, or, legendary, impossible, easy, this kind of things. At the moment, you got a success with that 20. Mm, yeah, I will say this. She seems she's trusting what you say.
okay.
You got this. She's also studying every single word that came out of your mouth. Not because she doesn't trust you. We already established that she trusts them, but she wants to know understand you. She wants to understand exactly where you're going with.
Right,
Well, it's not what you don't say
right.
because you're keeping your words and your attitude in a way that fit for this person.
It's a
So she's
business
trying.
talk. It's shifted from a casual conversation to a business talk, and so they're being both of them are being like each word is
It's important, and each word can mean different things.
right.
I also going to ask you before we move to Jarvis and Miguel to roll me a cunning check.
Ooh,
Cunning check are just cunning, just the trait. You keep all. You roll all, you keep all, NOS exploding sixes.
okay. So my cunning is 4, so 4 dice, and I don't get the bonus from the modifier,
No, you got
correct?
the bonus. You got
Okay.
the trait bonus is always implied, guys. Unless I say otherwise, you always apply that.
All right. So 5 and 4 is 9. 9 and 3 is 12. 14 and oh, sorry. 2, 16. 16.
16. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. There is something in what she said that make you think. She said, I trusted people that didn't have my best interest at heart. So, in your mind, like, she tried to do this task before. So this tell you the things. She tried to do it before, it didn't go well.
Yep.
Secondly, maybe the people that she got in contact with, they maybe were working from the other side at a certain point, or maybe they were not helping her since the beginning for other reasons. So maybe there is a little bit more to investigate about that, but this is not the moment.
Okay, I think I might have accidentally went, hold on. 9, 12. I think I might have been down. Would 14 still been okay or no? I'm just making
Oh
sure.
yeah, yeah. It was
Okay.
between 14 and 16. So
9,
you
3 is
got that.
12. 12 is 2 is 14. Oh no, I was right. Okay. So, okay. But the funny part about this is, because he's doing it in good faith, and I feel like the conversation Rock had was almost an even exchange in his mind. I'm not going to explore the topic right now. I'm not going to be
No,
like
no,
call
no,
her
no.
on it, but it's more like, in a weird way, he does have her best interests in mind.
No, no, of course.
Okay,
She's
and
not referring to you. She's
no,
referring
no,
to
I
someone
know,
else.
but what I'm saying is she could probably get from the business conversation, yes, he's being protective of the captain especially and Garvis, but he hasn't done anything to be like put a tricky bit of language in there. He hasn't like, you know, and
And
then
probably this is the reason why you feel like she's trusting you.
he as he gets up, and this is a very rock thing to do, as he gets up from the conversation, he's like, well, I can't get too drunk. I have lookout duty later. Um, but he'll get up and be like, it is something I aspire to be, like a businessman, a person of my word. That's what I'm trying to become. And so when I have conversations like this, I want you to know that they are in good faith. And then he gets up and he leaves.
And she said, in a completely unrelated note, you should talk with the head of my family. She will be able to teach you to be the best businessman I can even think about.
He'll like hear that as he will acknowledge that he heard it, and he'll just nod. And it's always good to have another business connection. You hear the wheels turning, and he sort of
Mhm,
walks
mhm,
out.
mhm. And Miguel, Jarvis, which one of you want to go first? Because now the spotlights are on you.
Yeah, I kind of emerge. I picture like well, you guys can pick who it is, but like I'll just like emerge from the basement, and they'll do their.
Yeah, the scene move away from you and the camera roll towards another character.
I, Adrian, unless you want to go, do you mind if I go?
Yeah, you can go next.
Um, so I think even before this happened, because of the realization of the day that was coming up, Ocean,
Yeah, Osh.
um, Jarvis is probably getting kind of close to finishing up with his shield.
Hmm.
He's probably sporadically uh, working on some of the new skills that he's learned, figuring out how to actually get the gun, get his gun to fire without having to reload it every time. Um, but he is probably at the bow, which is the front of the boat, if
Yeah.
I'm remembering. He's probably up at the bow and taking turns with some of the other some of the other crewmen to keep an eye on the water while doing other busy work. Dealing with ropes and stitching stitching holes in backup sails and things like that, and just kind of bantering with people. So he would want to be watching the waves, watching the any of the sea life, the birds, anything that might be around that could give him a clue as to potential danger. If he sees dolphins kind of riding along with the boat, he finds that kind of a soothing kind of a feeling. Like he feels like, okay, that's a good sign. But if he sees a school of fish seeming to be moving very quickly uh, in one direction, he might say, let's veer off in this other direction just a little bit to make sure that we're not finding our way into something's path. And so he's just watching the waves, watching the wildlife, and kind of keeping himself busy with uh, little tasks here and there.
Hmm. Okay, sounds good. Um, Absolutely good. And I okay.
And I'll even open this up if I don't know what Miguel is thinking about doing, but
Mhm.
if Miguel is thinking about doing something similar or even something else that might entail the front of the boat, maybe they would be there close by and we could have a joint scene if you wanted to, Adrian, or if you were thinking about doing something else, then
Uh,
you,
it depends on what the captain wants him to do. He has an
okay.
idea. Um, if the captain has something specific they want that she wants him to do, that's fine. He'll do that. But if not, he was planning on trying to like. He's not the best sailor. He doesn't. He's starting to learn a little bit, but he does know how to keep people's spirits up.
Yep.
Hmm.
So he was planning on help keeping spirits high despite the amount of stress, all the things that we've gone through, all the things that have gone wrong, and also the looming ocean day that's coming up. So those were along the lines of what he was going to do. But
So that would kind of work. I mean, I could again, unless David, you want to have the captain tell Miguel to do something in particular. Miguel could be up there with me and a few of the other crewmen, and I could be showing uh, him how to sew, how to tie knots. Giving them some pointers about how to handle what I've learned how to handle things on a ship, and some navigation skills, different things like that as it kind of comes up in conversation as we banter back and forth and tell jokes and tell stories. I mean, Jarvis is definitely not like the most charming person, but he has a presence about him, um, and knows how to relax a little bit and let other people get relaxed. And he also knows how to calm people down magically.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And no, I think this interaction between the two of you and the rest of the crew, yeah, it's perfectly fine for me. I actually like it. I think
Hmm.
it's a way for, Miguel to start to know the rest of the crew even more.
Hmm.
You started to
mhm.
see some interesting characters, um, except the players. I would say um, you got a piece, this very very short Sarikart guy that usually is your heavy lifter, even if he's a very small guy. Is just usually is the one of the strongest people on board. You start to you meet Grimwald. It's and a holder sailor that has this very very long white silvery green beard that is come from the north of Hinget here, and it has this kind of a druidic kind of vibe around him. um uh, you start to know a little bit about Leaf. It's the other, when Rock is not around, he was the face. Leaf is this very dashing, very cool Hellfire elf guy that has, you know, uh, a good sense of fashion with a three-corn hat that is usually the captain wear it, but it allows him to do in it just because if good looking it, and other things like this. So there is a lot of people, colorful character about on the ship, and each one of them has a story to tell, has a lot of info and a lot of things to say about themselves. But of course, they are much more inclined to open when they know you. And now you, Miguel, and Rock are starting to be part of this family. So I want to have two role from you guys.
Okay.
One for Jarvis, about crafting role for your shield,
Okay.
and to see how it comes. You're not an expert shield maker,
No,
but you
definitely not.
try your best.
Yes.
While Miguel, I will ask you to, even if you're not proficient with, to do a society role,
All right.
because that you have an extra die. because Jarvis' presence and the fact that he's pushing you to participate will help you a little bit on the matter.
All right. I'm just looking. Okay.
It's your
Presents.
society is under presence, is the last one of the list.
Yep.
You roll, in this case, 5 dice, keep the highest, keep the lowest, +3.
All right. No exploding, right?
No exploding, no.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Uh, 11.
11, a very good roll at the end of it, you know? It's like um you make some friends. Let me explain you. It's not the most you're not, close to them right now. They're not like brother and sister to you, but they are definitely much more friendly, much more like you start to feel that you're part of something, that they accept you. Um and you started to actually how you start to feel about this. What going on with in Miguel's mind right now?
Well, Miguel already feels kind of indebted to the crew to begin with, especially the captain after the amount of things that he has that they've gone out of their way to help him with. And even after the almost even considering that he all the problems that he feels like he and his party has brought upon the ship, he feels like he it, not indebted to them of some sort. So he's surprisingly nervous
Hmm.
at first, but especially coming from him. But as Jarvis is there, he feels a little bit more comfortable, and then seeing their it's just kind of how seeing that they're friendly, he realizes that he doesn't have to. He can start letting a little bit of his guard down and just start kind of be allowing himself to enjoy their company, being himself. Is there like any sort of if they're telling stories, he'll tell some stories from where he's from, like like things that you would do around like when you start to get to know people. Like if you're not quite at like a bar or like at an office or something like different. You know what I mean? Like if you're at like a party or you're meeting new people for the first time,
Oh
like
no.
actually but he starts to relax. He starts talking. He's going to ask about uh he, the elf character, seeing that he also enjoys wearing similar clothing, like getting to know people. He starts to kind of start smiling a little bit more and relaxes. If there's any he would also like to at least try to put them at ease. Actually, is there any? I got a question. Is there any like sort of musical instrument on board at all anywhere?
Yes, yes, there is. Lat, Kelidra Taruk, this tortoise guy. It's it's this guy that usually work mostly close to the main mast, and is this humanoid turtle that barely wear clothes,
That's fine.
especially at sea, because most of the Taruk people are covered with their shell. It's like there's not much to see there. The real soft body is inside, and he play an ukulele. Is the guy that play a ukulele, and he has a very rough, graspy voice, but he's a good singer.
He's gonna go up to him. He's like, excuse me, do you mind if I give your instrument a try?
Yeah, my guest.
All right. Yeah, I imagine hold his arms up to grab the instrument. It's
Absolutely,
been a
yes.
it's been a long while. Kind of gets a feel of this particular instrument. Every instrument's different. It's
Hmm.
like, all right, let's see if I still got this. And he's going to try to perform like a song. Let's see if he can like One that he's one like one from his homeland that he's and he at least as like a warm up. I'm not sure if let me know if what you would like me to roll. I don't have a particular.
Let's have a performance role here because that is your go-to for this kind of things, and I think yeah, let's see how you go at the beginning because as I said, it's been a while. You mostly do, you mostly entertain public with your wars. You don't usually play, but let's see how you go.
Yeah, he starts tuning it up. It's like, yeah, I used to do this. I used to play this a lot from my little ones back at home. My father taught me how to do this. All right, 1 second.
Hmm.
Okay. And if I have with that many dice, is it the highest and lowest, or is it
No,
two?
no. In this case, you keep because you got three dots on performance. You keep three dice, and you keep all the highest, and also you can explode up to two sixes.
Oh, okay, that changes things. 1 second.
Absolutely. Jarvis, in the meantime, how was your crafting?
Uh, it wasn't phenomenal, but I rolled a a low three and a high five. I don't doesn't matter because nothing explodes, and
Hmm,
I have one in ability, so it was a nine.
a nine. Okay, okay. You think you have done a pretty good job. Um, as I said, this is a shield made out of the what was left of a barrel.
Hmm.
You are not a boatswoman, you are not a shield crafter, but you think it will work.
It'll keep me protected for now. Maybe I can find a shield off of a dead soldier at some point.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe. Or maybe acquire one in a more legal way. You don't know.
yeah, I don't have any money right now, so legal might not be the way to go. But who knows what.
Yeah, you never know.
Um,
You never know.
um, but I also, because you asked for a performance check from Miguel, and so I feel like Jarvis and Miguel have had a couple of times dealing with each other. The thing with with Graves, this last time in the hotel with Lady
Right.
Verace,
Hmm.
um, and I appreciate the way Jarvis appreciates the way that Miguel handles things. If they know what they're doing, they'll step out in front and try to deal with it. And if they don't know what's going on, they'll step back and let somebody else take point. And Jarvis respects that. He knows that other people have skills he doesn't have, and so he's willing to step back when as much as him and Rock have their thing going, he knows when to step back and let Rock do his thing because he knows Rock knows how to do it, and he's happy about that. And so he's gotten to trust Miguel, and he's been on the boat, a couple of years now, and so he's gotten to know people a bit, and so he starts, just a simple rhythm. As he sees Miguel go over and ask for the instrument, he starts kind of just tapping his foot and just creating a rhythm before Miguel even starts playing. He only got a what did I get actually? Uh,
Something like that, like stomp.
I, I,
Uh,
I actually did better on my performance. I got a 10 on performance. Again, nothing. It's not a great roll, but just that like he sees it happening, and so he starts kind of stomping. Just something simple. So everyone kind of like notices. Oh wait, there's a beat happening, and then Miguel can start playing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Almost like the base of the classic sea shanty song, like the four time
Sure,
tempo.
exactly,
Actually,
exactly.
exactly that. Miguel starts. He hasn't quite noticed that Jarvis has done it, but he definitely feels it. He feels the beat as he like you see him like like bouncing his head as he's starting to play, and he's like, "Oh, I still got this." As he starts playing a sea shanty that he has heard from home. That is his own mother who used to sing to him
Mm-hmm.
with a 25.
With a 25. Okay.
Yes.
Listen, it's perfect. In the matter of minutes, from top to bottom, the entire ship is singing and dancing at the rhythm and working at the rhythm of your song. You have been, you start with a sea shanty that you know from childhood. You start to sing in Sarian because that is your original language. While between you guys, you talk about, you use the um, tides language, the common tongue between that everyone use, but every single one of you has their mother tongues from where they come from. And Saria is this kind of it's a language that if I want to compare it to something real in real life, is something like almost like ancient Mexican, like slash Mayan kind of language. Um, and it's very reading, very musical, and etc. So you started to sing, and even people that don't know the language, they started to follow the rhythm, and it started to, and sometimes they started to shout words here and there because maybe there is you know, like a moment when you repeat some bits of the song, and they just follow up, and more songs are coming later, and they started to ask you, oh, can you play that, can you play this, and sometimes you don't know, but you start to spend the rest of the week try to get the morale of the ship higher, even if everyone knows what's coming. That will give everyone a very good, I will say, bonus die for next week. So unless you guys want to do anything else in particular for this first week, we can move
I,
on the
I
second and last one.
again,
Go.
I also did want to be keeping an eye on the waves and the animals. So I
Yes,
don't know if I could do a.
I didn't forget about that,
Okay,
but um, I will say this week. For now, everything seems fine.
fair,
As I
fair.
said, you see some bank of fish, you see some sea creature, you see some dolphin, like you mentioned, and you also see a couple of whales far far
Hmm.
away from where you are,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
maybe even a big shadow, but it's not something that you guys are going to cross. It's
Hmm.
far
Hmm.
away. It's fine. The
Hmm.
creature of the sea are still, you know, calm because what is coming is something that is doesn't affect them yet.
Yeah, they're not acting. They're not acting out of character, uh, considering where we are and what's going on. Everything seems uh, uh, correct. Great.
So, because the Rock did the first roll, um, Miguel, why don't you
Yes.
give me the second roll and last roll of this, let's say, uh, bits of the travel, bits
All
of the
right.
journey?
Just a question while they're doing their role. I
Yes.
would check in with the captain to tell her the progress that's been made downstairs
Mm-hmm.
and about that a tentative plan has been reached where we can work things out where you're in the clear, where we're in the clear, basically.
Okay. Okay. Good.
I'm also gonna, before we move on to next week, I would have definitely given Jarvis a high five for the beat, and probably would have, as in the middle of the song, just played right next to him as he's tapping away. And
I'm
Sounds great, and
Just
I picturing you guys like singing something like in the middle of the ship, just playing
just
around with other sailor just clapping and the people
rock
pulling.
comes up from the creepy bait like hold into music, and then
Yeah,
like what is?
We're
I'm just
having a
that scene.
Broadway musical on board.
Sure,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's a nice time to sneak off to talk to the captain because everybody's like doing the thing.
yeah, absolutely.
I
And
have the. I'm sorry.
mhm. No, no,
Okay.
please.
So I roll. You wanted the full number together, right?
Yes, I
7.
want you. Oh, you got a seven.
I got a
Okay,
7.
that sounds great.
Sounds
So,
fine.
It gets like a two. It's really, I don't know how it's possible.
the last bits of your voyage, see you leaving the Fithel Ocean and entering what is called the Selene Sea or the Moon Sea. They're just around Aegeus. It's a stretch of water that is almost like a lake in between the ocean. From north, you got the Fithel Ocean. From south, the Riding Wave Ocean. And those two current, they little clash and create this pool in the middle that rest between those two titans. And the water inherited this both temperaments of it, but still and a tranquil during the day and almost restless and whispering during the night.
Is it still the it's still like a cold month, right? We're heading further north, right?
Yes.
Okay. Snakes in general do not like very cold weather. So I assume Rock, who basically just wears light leather, has went down to the hold and been like, Can I get something that's like a coat and maybe like something to cover my snakes, please?"
You see
Absolutely. You
Miguel right next to you, shivering.
Yeah, yeah. And the captain also, because she is a
Hmm.
snake too.
I'm
Uh,
looking at her like we need to get some thicker clothes because it is getting
Yeah,
cold.
yeah, yeah. At the moment, the thing is, the difference between you guys and the captain, that she come from Ugre. That is a very, very cold environment.
I'm from Volcano Land,
Yeah,
so
well,
like
you are from a volcanic series of island, and Miguel is coming from a desertic island, so like almost like tropical kind. So you guys are, shivering and definitely in need of some cover. So while most of the crew is literally just someone is shirtless, someone's wearing just something a little bit more like leathery or something like that. You guys are in full um, winter clothes.
I'm
It's
like
like,
putting little sleeves on each of my snakes so that they stay warm. I'm a little,
yeah,
get on there.
you see me like if you saw me like it looks like I look like a giant like you ever seen those kids who wear the big poofy
yeah,
jacket,
yeah,
the
yeah,
gloves, like the mitten gloves. They can't really walk. They have their arms out and they're
Yeah,
like
Miguel, I'm right there with you,
wobbling.
buddy. Just put his hands
Yeah,
in
yeah.
he's like you normally see he's usually very thin clothes.
and I'm up in the
Uh
crow's nest, even higher up in the air. Yeah, okay. I'm wearing a
he
coat.
has he has earmuffs, hat, actually earmuffs, I mean
I'm
the
just
whole thing
the
bundled
little
up. All you can
snakes.
see is
Oh, good. Good. Sorry.
you should get little hats for
I
each of the
do. I
snakes.
have like little. I've assumed I got little like tubes that I've put around them so that they stay warm.
And then you see uh, Jarvis, and he's one of the ones who is shirtless, just loving the cold. His the blue parts of his skin though have turned entirely black, because any sunlight, his skin is in a sense trying to suck up the heat from the sun. But he loves the cold. He is the hairless bear, and is just he's thoroughly enjoying it as he's practicing his new martial skills and keeping an eye on the
I,
water.
I just picture that they almost look like hair rollers because they're like these tubes that he stuck these things in, right? And it's it goes
And then
up.
the little snake is just kind of like stuck out at the top of it, and it can
Yeah.
only move its head back and forth.
All right, no, guys, you'll be all right because they're his family basically. So
You
he's like, all
you
right, I
look
guess.
like Coolio.
Yes, very much so. Very,
Miguel will give Jarvis a look of how and why, but is speechless. It won't just, it's like, okay.
how can you live like that? Look, Rock's just looking at.
This is living.
Oof. All right, sorry. I just the image of
Sorry.
all the freezing.
Okay. So, the last bits of your voyage, it's a little bit more, I will say, it feels like almost like you guys getting back to the Mist Sea. Because there is this quite light, I will say, not very thick, it's just almost like a silk kind of feelings of this gentle mist that is just above the water. It doesn't, you know, obscure anything. You can see the water under it. It just gives you this almost weird vibe of almost like a fog machine in the late 70s music that all feel always just above the feet of the actors, but nothing more than that.
I'll be on guard because I'm probably up at the desk and be like looking in because if the fog is low enough, I won't be able to see what's in the water very well. So
Hmm.
it's I'll just keep kind of an eye on it.
Okay, can I have a perception roll from you?
Sure.
The target number is quite hard,
Yeah.
especially because of the mist.
Okay. So 2 dice for perception, 4 dice for cunning, so 6 dice. With 2 pips, I keep both of them or I keep one of them? I forget which is the.
You keep the two you have. Okay,
Oh
let
yeah,
me double check with you. So your perception is two.
right.
So you keep both of them, and you keep the two highest.
Okay. Keep the two highest out of 6 dice.
Yeah, and there is a six. One of them can explode.
Okay. Okay, two highest. No sixes. Low row stay. But a 5 and a 4, so that's 9. My perception, my cunning bonus is 2. So unfortunately, 11.
Okay, so hmm, rock through the misty green kind of greeny surface of the sea. Um, a strange translucent shape seems to glide on the right side of the ship, close to the hull of the ship.
Is there like
It's
a light up here that I could turn on, or like a torch that I could kind of like, you know?
in no, no.
Okay.
The outline of this entity is almost like ghostly, like glass, shaped into the form of a living creature. And the the few ray of sunlight that refracts through it seems almost like to scatter this rainbow effect on the surface, and it moves almost like with an impossible grace, slow and silent, leaving this trail of colors behind it. At the moment, you are the only one that has seen it.
Is Garvis doing his thing where he's hanging out by the edge of the boat? Because he said he was watching the waves, basically. Like that was his
At the
hobby.
moment, because you said you were on lookout, you are the one that's seen it.
Okay. Who is on deck? I kind of glance down to see who's there.
Miguel's there.
Okay. Miguel is there. Okay.
Okay. Um, what is there a like a walkie? How do I communicate when I've seen something? Do I flash a symbol?
Usually people shout.
No, I just okay. How?
Usually.
No, no, no.
It
I
depends.
know. Okay, so we literally just say like we've seen something.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd probably call it the side of the boat too, like starboard bow, um,
Mhm.
just to point out the area that to keep an eye on.
Okay, since I'm not as a player not very knowledgeable about boats, what side is the creature?
Let me tell you. Just give me 1 second. Um, Starboard.
Okay. Since Miguel is the closest person that I know who's within shouting range, Miguel, there's a creature on the starboard.
Miguel kind of looks over and
Mhm.
focuses on, goes over to the starboard,
Yep.
and looks out into the ocean, see if he can find
Mm,
what
Now that is being pointed out, you just look over the trail and you look down. You see the same shape. And hmm, I would say, can I have, now that you are much more closer, a little bit of wisdom check?
Well, of course.
Could I make that check as well? I probably would head over at this point.
When you hear you immediately, because you were, try to pay attention, you go and look. So please,
Hmm. Yeah.
be my guest.
Is this a straight wisdom or
It's a straight wisdom. Uh, you keep all of it. You don't have exploding sixes.
great?
All right, and is this the plus, do I use the +1 die from,
Yes, everyone does.
okay.
Oh, I should have thought about that.
No, don't worry. I consider it also
Oh,
for you.
good. I didn't
All
roll an
right,
extra one.
12.
I had a little dice here.
Oh, thanks for the adjustment. I appreciate.
No worries.
I I got a 20.
Oh, so wisdom only 20 and a 12 from Miguel. So, Miguel, you are the first one that seen these things, and you are in awe. This is magnificent. You don't know exactly what it is, but it's almost like more you look at it, the more you feel like you're watching almost like a whale made of glass that just swim close to the ship. You never see or heard of anything like that in your life. On the
It's
other
mes
side, Jarvis, when you look at it, you realize that that is a reflection of something. That is not the creature. You know those um I will say uh fish of the deep ocean that lure you with a very nice light.
I think they're
That
called angler. They're like an angler fish. They have like
Yes,
a
exactly. In this case, the angling part is not, is what you guys see there.
mm,
This is hiding something that is much more dreadful.
that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Guys, come look. Right there.
that's
I he calls
that's
over at
not.
the crew. There's something in the water. It's amazing. I I
Jarvis is gonna
ridiculous.
yell out, "Rock, get down here now! Everybody, grab grab harpoons. Get ready.
What, is it a monster?
It's
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 so
dangerous.
beautiful.
It's
Ma-
not going to be in a second."
Oh, okay. So you say that it's dangerous. He's a pretty smart guy, so Rock will trust that. Is there like a quick like get out of the crow's nest thing, or am I gonna have to do some acrobatic nonsense?
There's some climbing
uh,
down.
the thing is, there is the classic scene of
Yeah.
you take out a
Yeah.
knife, you go down with to the sail, but if you do that, you're probably gonna have the rest of the crew very, very hungry because you just ruin a very
Yeah,
good
that's
sail.
so I'm
Um,
gonna go down a probably much more normal way, unfortunately, because
yeah,
I
your
realized
much
that
more normal way will take, you know, a good 30, to 30 seconds to 1 minute in order to get down without, breaking
okay.
your
So
neck.
I'll be like I'm coming right down, but like I'm
Yeah.
All right.
Would would there be an opportunity, and this is something that maybe our ship doesn't have, but I feel like sometimes the crow's nest has like a little bit of a rope and pulley kind of a system where it doesn't come all the way down, but it comes down to a certain point
Usually
on a
it
rope
comes
and
down to okay,
at
so there
first.
is like a little ladder that comes down to the first interruption of the mast.
Yes.
And there is another one that there's a series of ropes that help you to go down to the middle. But
Hmm.
after that, you got to use the two, let's call it nets. I'm not going
Yeah,
to
like a rope ladder.
yeah, I'm not going to go into a lot of nautical terms to avoid confusion because a lot of people don't know everything about that. But you know that there's those nets that come from the side of the boat and goes towards the mast, and
Hmm.
usually sailor use those to climb and go on the mast. That is the entire procedure that you need to do.
right. So I'll be spending some time. Rock considered the idea, but then quickly dismissed going down the expressway because we're getting ready for Ocean's Day, and I don't want to ruin any of the rigging or any of that stuff.
Yeah, the rigging,
Hmm.
So
perfect.
Um,
Yeah.
am I like being compelled to look at this at all, or what? Or
No, no. At the moment, you're just in awe and you just was, unable to react immediately. But now Jarvis just shout, "Take an harpoon, prepare to defend yourself," and etc. So you snap out of it quite immediately.
all right, I take my sword out and I look for
Hmm. Hmm.
um maybe is there something that I can like that'll like a harpoon that I could throw at it or prepare
Oh,
to
no, no.
throw
There are
it?
definitely harpoons. And as soon as Jarvis you shout that, one of the other member of the crew, Luth, she just grabbed the bell and she started to sound, to ring the bell in order to alert everyone about danger. That is something that you guys have done multiple times. When there is a danger, you ring the bell because everyone need to know.
Hmm.
All right.
So downstairs, the cabinet that hold the weapon is being open and people are just to you see people started to rush up with harpoon and rifles and etc. You don't have a lot of them, but definitely enough to have for you guys to have one, but you need to go and grab it or wait for someone to bring it to you.
Jarvis would probably have his boarding pistol on him at
Mm-hmm.
the very least, and that's the thing he's been kind of playing with as far as his new abilities. So
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna pull his shitty shield off his back and get his gun ready and just continue searching for the actual mass of this creature, not the angler, but the
Not
rest
not
of the creature.
the shimmering glow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because you shout and etc., the captain will also shout some command, and the ship start to turn. Not to get out, not and when I say start to turn is just she adjusting in order to avoid the creature. She's keep going forwards towards Egeo, so she's not going to turn back, but she's trying to get to a slightly different route in order to get around the creature and move forward. And thanks to you, Miguel, thanks, I give her an extra dice on her navigation skill that I'm rolling right now, and he is a 6.
Nice.
um, the following one is just a 2, but like 8 point extra that are very good. Um, okay, so this maneuver is not going to happen in a fraction of a second. Move an entire ship, guys, is quite slow and a little bit more complicated than it sounds. So in this amount of time, The creature is still on the side of on the ship, starboard, and at the moment it's still like shimmering and creating this illusion effect on the surface. Jarvis, you look for the real body. You look for something, and you realize that it's probably behind you guys,
Hmm.
much more in depth, in the depth of the water, just trailing the ship.
Hmm.
But the moment that you are started to move, the creature seems to be mm, not really willing to pursue. However, you are not completely sure if this is just a standoff between you and the creature or is actually giving up. So I want to
Hmm.
know, understand. I want to understand what you guys are trying to do.
Um, so it's kind of behind us, still off to the starboard.
Yeah.
The shimmering bit is probably a little bit more parallel, and I can assume, I can't see, but I can assume that the mass of the creature is deeper and a
Mhm.
little bit farther behind us. So I'm gonna go to the stern of the ship, which I believe is the back of the ship,
Hmm.
and try to find um, grab an extra harpoon as I go, and get up to a point where I can really get a good view into the water, see something, um, and I'm not ready to throw anything yet, because if the thing is ready to back off, I'd rather not make it mad and give it a reason to continue. But I'm going to um uh I'm thinking I might just try a spell. Um
Okay.
I don't know if soothing wave is something where I have to be able to see my target necessarily, or if I can.
Technically speaking, yes.
Okay. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try using crushing wave, not so much to damage it, but to begin pushing the water that's behind us to continue moving it to the starboard. So if it is already starting to think, okay, I don't want to deal with this, it's going to start getting a flow of water that's going to start to push it
Push it
away as
away
well.
from it. Hmm.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting way to use the spell, so I will allow it. Let's have a roll for it.
All right. And so I'm rolling wisdom, which I have
Hmm.
3 in wisdom, and then I have 1 in crushing wave, so that's 4.
Okay. And you know the
Uh,
target number is 12. So in this case, I remind you, because you have one dot, you keep the highest, the lowest, but there is a 6, it will explode.
all right. Thank
And you
you.
also had your wisdom modifier.
Yeah,
But
and
also,
that's just
because
a
of Miguel, I will give you another dice.
okay. So I'm rolling 5 6s and plus the okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm keeping the highest and the lowest.
Yes.
So that's a 6 and a 1.
It's 7.
Um, so
That
that's
means you can also roll again.
yep. So that's a 7. So it's an 8. Come on.
You need a
And that's a
4.
4.
Great. Right on target. See?
Okay.
Right on target. Very good. The spell didn't backfire on you.
Hmm.
That's a very good news. Um, you know what? Yes. That was a, I like when people get find an interesting way to use the spells. The creature from down below seems to circle once behind the ship. You still just see this blackish shape that is very different from what the shimmering looks like. This is a
Hmm.
much more elongated and almost like serpentine. And it brushed the hole slightly, almost like testing it.
Hmm.
And you all guys feel this hum, like a very low hum that resonates through the planks. And that the creature vanish, the shimmering goes, and only the little mist that is surrounding the ocean around you, it's covering everything.
Mm.
Is it gone?
Yeah, I think it might be gone. I think what I did might have
Rock just climbs down. All right, what's going on?
uh, nobody nobody off your guard. Everybody keep keep an eye out. If you see that shimmering thing again, report it. Yeah. Um, I don't mind going up there myself, Rock. I can handle the cold. I can perceive pretty well too. Um,
No, but you
but
can have the next shift after me. I'm just gonna go back up now. So it's climbing
yeah,
again. He's right there.
but I don't I don't trust that it's entirely gone. So uh, Jarvis will uh, try to find the best place to
Hmm.
keep an eye, whether that be the front or the back of the boat. Probably the back of the boat, honestly.
Hmm.
And we'll just continue keeping an eye on as much of a 180-degree uh, look as you can. Just because that was where he last saw the thing. So he's just continuing to try to look for the creature and anything else that might be moving around.
This is only for you. Later a night, for maybe a day, maybe just only a few hours into the night. You're not completely sure because you lose a certain moment the the position of it. But you notice, uh, few yards away, this faint green light just under the surface,
Mm,
like almost like a couple of eyes, then glimmers beneath the, the waves, and it keeping pace, but it doesn't get closer.
does it seem to be that same big shimmering
You're not com
glass?
you're not completely sure because, as I say, this is a night, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pitch black out there. So
Hmm.
you barely see, and but thanks to your perception, I can tell you already you are able to perceive a couple of times those kind of gleamy eyes beyond
Hmm.
under the surface. But it's keeping distance, doesn't get closer,
Hmm.
and you, of course, I presume you will tell other people to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I pointed out to whoever is in the crow's nest if I go up there myself.
Mm.
I'll point it out to anybody who I know is the better of the lookouts who are, and again, I'm keeping people a little bit on edge in this way. Like, do
Yeah.
not take your eyes off the water. If that thing perceives that we're not looking at it, and it probably has the ability to perceive that kind of an opening, it may strike. So we can't rest on our laurels right now. We've got to stay vigilant and ready to attack.
And because of you ask people to stay vigilant, because you try to make sure that everyone is ready for, maybe, this predator had the feeling of it, or
Hmm.
it is much more intelligent than it looks. This is not a mindless beast.
Hmm. Hmm.
a follower with purpose, but is also like a good predator, knowing when is the moment to give up.
Hmm.
Not every hunt is a success.
Hmm.
And towards the end of your journey, it's gone.
Hmm.
You don't feel it, you don't see it, but still, everyone is on edge, everyone is ready, just to make sure that you get in a safe area.
Hmm.
And speaking of that, the moment that you guys start to spot those, you know, land, you started to spot fishing boats, you started to spot this little, black dot on the horizon, you know Egeus is there. Just maybe hours, maybe a day away.
Hmm.
So, before we actually get to Egeus, let's again have a little roundup of what is being your week here.
Um, Once Jarvis starts kind of calming down a little bit, sees that other people are taking their turns, keeping an eye on the water. Um, he he would probably, uh, catch a little rest here and there, um, and uh, and maybe even go back uh, to his room and grab his tome and go back to the boat, the back of the boat, keeping half an eye out, and whilst other people are still looking, but doing a little bit of reading, continuing to understand uh, the powers that he has, because leaning on that makes him feel better. But then kind of gripping the ring and
Hmm.
and thinking back to what Verace said, it's about faith. It's about belief. It's about you can't just ask it for things. You have to give it a little something as well. And so he begins um, uh, trying to feel that stir of the ocean, um, that the pain and the health of the things around him, and know that fate brought the two of them together, him and the ring, and the ring, is has decided to be on him, and so he's accepting that and believing that there is something more to it, and if he can get rid of it, then he knows that he'd be happy to get rid of it. But if if it if it did give him something more, and it did want to, you know, let him attune to it, let him bind himself to it, where he would be able to get something more out of it, and begin to believe in whatever that is. Because again, this is the order of the witches that has to do with um, death and
Yep.
pain and healing.
And okay,
Or
no,
is it
that
just death
is
and pain?
death.
Just
Death.
death. Okay.
Okay. So what you're talking about, um, as just a reminder for everyone, there are three covens
Yeah.
of witches in Apollo. The one that is connected to this specific ring is the Sisterhood of Darkness.
Darkness. That's right. Okay. Yeah,
Okay?
because of the eyes being covered. That's right.
Yeah. There is the Sisterhood of Darkness, the Brotherhood of Whisper, and the Coven of Pain.
Okay.
Uh,
Um.
the, the Sisterhood of Darkness, and that's what you gathered
Hmm.
uh, is has a creed that they wish, is like something that they believe. Every death must mean something.
Hmm.
They are their blindfolded skull is like a vow to see no evil, but is like also to witness non-meaningful suffering, non-meaningful, meaningless death.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Every passing has a purpose.
Hmm.
So
And
that's
so because of that, he's going to think back to the shadow the agent from the Shadow Consortium
hmm
that he killed, and and think, you know, it felt in the moment. It felt like I needed to do, but maybe that death is what helps to bring the two of us together. What helps to make this situation more intense.
hmm,
Um, Varachi wouldn't be here right now if she had that person. Um,
no,
you know,
definitely
the
not.
the 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 so there's a meaning to that person's death, and he's continuing to try to reach out to whatever that power is that's behind the ring, and believe and put a little
Can
bit of faith
I
in it.
have an arcane or occultism roll from you? I know you
Uh-huh.
have both the same value on both, but
Yes.
depending of what you choose, the approach will be different.
Um, I think that because the this is more of or more occult, this is more him, a little bit more of a faith, a little bit more of a belief, not so
Mhm.
much tapping into the magic of it, but
Yeah.
he is tapping into the the destiny of the moment. It's going to be an occult, so that's going to be 5d6. Do I is that thing that Miguel gave us, is that ongoing?
Yes, it's
That
for the
plus one.
whole. It's the for the whole week. So.
Okay.
I'd give you a critical token if Gal could help out in any way, but
I mean,
Um,
at
it
this
seems
point, you
kind of
need to choose.
personal.
If you get the critical token, don't get the extra dice because
no, no, it's and it's fine because I get to keep the two highest, so it's a 5 and a 6. So the
Mhm.
6 is going to explode,
All right,
and that's
so
actually another 6. So that's
nice.
17. And this is wisdom. So I get plus 1 to wisdom, and I also get plus 1 to occult. So that's a 19.
And that's is a crit.
Yep.
That is a crit, and that will trigger something. So, sorry guys to take a little bit of control here, but
Hmm.
Jarvis, you are down below, close to where you usually sleep and etc. with your book, and you are trying to connect. You look at this ring and you're thinking, what do you want from me? What you trying to tell me? Why you chose me? Why is important that I have you on my hand? And you started to try to find this connection, and all of a sudden, in the little the cover that are being of the skull, the socket of the skull that they are covered with this blindfold, seems almost to have a tiny spark behind it. Behind the blindfold, you can feel that almost like a little bit of energy coming out, and all of a sudden, you have a vision. Something completely unexpected. You are in a room somewhere else. It's hard to make up the detail because everything is a little bit blurred. And you see two figures in the room. One of them is her, the woman that you killed. And that is already something marvelous, but kind of expected. You were trying to look into her death to find a meaning behind it. So here it is. Here she is. What you do not expect to see in the vision is a pot. But the two of them are talking. You cannot hear what they're saying, but they seem to know each other. And the vision is gone.
You said it was hot pot?
Yes?
Okay. Hmm.
Please, if you have a question.
Um, I'm in a room. I see the woman I killed, and then I see hot pot there, and the two of them are talking. Does the conversation seem pretty um pretty relaxed? Does it seem intense?
Okay. So, as I said, you cannot make out completely the room around it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as I said, it's a little bit in a blur. Most of the parts that are really important for you are her. And when you see the other figure that you recognize as a hot pot, he became much more clear in your vision.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing something on a table. He's moving his hand, almost crafting with his potion. You have seen that kind of movement multiple times. And the two are
Mm-hmm.
talking. I don't want to say friendly, but relaxed. And they're
Mm-hmm.
talking about something. In the meantime, Hot Pot is, moving things and etc.
Hot pot might be cooking or possibly preparing something that is alchemical in
Most
nature.
most of the second one,
More
more
the second one, that's fine. Does it look like she is interacting with him in that, or is she mostly just talking and watching?
talking and watching.
All right. Um,
And can I have, based on your perception, um, can I have a roll from that? This can be difficult, so just so you know.
again, I have in perception, I have 6 dice, so I'm adding the seventh, and this is cunning, so it's +3. That is 3 6s.
Okay.
So to
I know even ask you to roll again.
okay,
You notice immediately something. In your vision, of Pot was younger.
I was assuming that.
It was maybe, I'm not sure, you don't have a time frame, but it didn't have the classic uh color of suntan skin that you know about him. It
Hmm.
didn't
Hmm.
have the classic line around his eye that came from, being at sea for a longer time.
He's probably thinner,
Like a
maybe a
little
little
bit
bit. Yeah.
thinner, yes.
Hmm.
Maybe this was around 5 to 10 years ago.
Yep. I was gonna guess maybe 10 years ago because we've known each other for a couple of years, and I know he's been around for a little bit longer. Okay.
You're not completely sure.
Hmm.
But I remind you something. That's something that you know. Hot Pot doesn't know nothing about his past.
Hmm.
Doesn't know even his own name.
Hmm. So I do know that Hot Pot has kind of, and I'm correct me if I'm wrong. He has a little bit of an assassin background, if I'm not mistaken. Just from some of the things he said, the way that he likes to dress, he likes to be
Hmm.
stealthy, and this other person had that same jacket on, that same stealthy type cloak on. He's also some kind of a thief, um, and so they have something in common already. But even in their past, maybe Hot Pot was somehow involved with the Shadow Consortium in some way, or these two were friends getting to know the trade early on, and so that was part of what was going on in that vision.
It's a lot of maybe you
Hmm.
unfortunately
Hmm.
don't have a proof. The other question that pop up in your mind is if they know each other, why Hot Pot, you know, okay, you killed her, but
Hmm.
Hot Pot was the one that knocked her out,
Yeah. Yep.
without a second thought.
Hmm.
So there is a lot
He
of
didn't.
question there.
He does. His amnesia was that strong that in the moment he didn't recognize her. Maybe he didn't get as good of a look at her. He wasn't thinking in those regards. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna keep this close to my chest for now until maybe I can figure it out a little bit more. But
Mm.
I clench the ring and shake my head at this strange new piece of information.
And there is a one thing that I will tell you about the ring now.
Hmm.
Weirdly, you're not sure, but you got the feelings that the blindfold slightly moved. And now a little bit of the left socket of the skull is much more visible.
Hmm. Okay.
But uh, we are moving forward with our story. We are finally getting to Aegeus, the Isles of Forgotten Glory and rising power. This sea-crowned, ruin-ringed island that sit in the middle of the Moon Sea. And not just in the middle of the Moon Sea, it sits in the middle of the archipelago itself. Is the safe haven between the Riding Wave Ocean and the Fithel Ocean from the north. Once the capital of the Eugenie Empire, the jewel of the Eugenie Empire, back when the archipelago was young. They lost everything when Mount Lima erupted and tore the capital of Puerto Real apart, engulfing the entire city and the north uh, west side, east side, northeast side of the island in a river of magma that killed every member of the empire, of the imperial family. Yet, over time, the cities of Aegeus endure and start to rise again. Harems rose to rule it, the entire island with marble and gold and a lot of politics and philosophy and the study of magic and other things like this. Corith the sing with shipwrights, armor, making of goods and commerce. Tripos, the barter between sunken street close to the ruins of Porto Real and a new school of philosophy that rose in the last few years, then battle between reason and fate. And last but not least, Tesiki, the green veined beautiful landscape of Tesiki that feeds the highlands with a lot of grain and olives and oil and craftsmanship is the soul of the Siki's clay and wool. Aegeus is a place where philosophies argue under colonnades, Caliberian bells keep the time, and the leader of Aegeus, Lancelot Blackburn, keep every alliance in hold in peace. Because 20 years ago, I made this place independent from every other nation. And a safe haven for everyone that decided to land here. No extradition, no political interference. A safe haven for every single sailor, pirate, a member of cult and religion, for everywhere in the archipelago. This is what you guys know. And this is what was expecting you. So, when you finally get to land, what you guys are going to do?
There was an informant here we were supposed to talk to, like a sage type character that
Yes.
we were supposed to. I believe we have to tell them stories to trade for information.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's our priority. Obviously, like we how many days until the ocean storm comes rolling?
That's a question that you may be going to ask around if you want, but there is something else is going to happen as soon as you guys get on land. But
I
we'll
will.
get to.
I'll ask around if when we get there. Keep up with customs.
Oh yeah, before we land, I will inform the captain of any knowledge I've learned from our guest about like why she couldn't do the things within those 25 years, what was going on, and also um, it might be weird, but like sort of like I think that there's something we can rescue from this individual. Like me and her are both kind of like have like an orphan vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to show that there's some sort of shared connection that we might be able to get through to her.
Okay. Over the past,
Do, do you mind if I ask real quick? Do you share that information with the rest of us as well?
Now I'm going to say this in a really weird way. He always seems to trust the captain even more than you guys. Not that he wouldn't let you guys be there, and if the captain wanted them to be there, that's fine. But he's just doing his job of going to the cabin and reporting what he knows, and sort of telling her the kind of deal they're working out, and seeing if she's okay with it because it's her ship and she's moving it. You know what I mean? Like he's just doing that. That's what he's doing right now.
And I'm only asking because I need to be able to separate what I know from what.
I would have
Garvis
invited
won't.
possibly invited Garvis if the captain was okay with it because he's
Yeah,
involved in that deal of what's going on. I don't know if I would have invited Miguel because I feel like they're kind of an outsider to this whole thing except for being involved in the theft, you know.
Hmm.
okay. I think yes, Jarvis, you are going to be allowed to be there for sure because you know, you were dealing with Lady Voraci in the hotel since the beginning. And for the captain point of view, also Miguel can be there because he's also was there.
Okay.
But it's up to you decide
I
if you want to be
I
there.
will I will let the captain decide who should be at the meeting. I'm simply reporting and telling her about the tenuous deals that we're trying to forge down there.
Yeah, fair enough.
It seems like she's okay with everybody being here, as far as I can tell. You know.
Hmm.
And that's good. Just so that when I re-listen to this, whenever, I just want to know what I need to kind of separate in my mind about knowing and not knowing.
Absolutely.
Um,
It make absolute sense.
Okay. So yeah, those I just wanted to get through to her that like I feel like we're reaching a deal where the ship and Garvis will be clear, and that there is a sort of shared sympathetic bond I think that I can form with her, though I think I have to do it through deal making and not deception, if that makes sense. She is a business person, so I have to deal with it in a business way. If
No, yeah, absolutely. The captain will not interfere in the way that, you know, you are treating this. She's trusting you on the matter.
okay.
Also, did you guys give to Lady Voraci her possession back?
Yeah, I would we would have given it back to her. If they had been like, "Oh, I'm not giving it back," Rock would have went over and been like, "No, really, we told her we would give you these things." You know, that's
Mhm. And just one last thing, Jarvis, are you trying now to ask her to get, to take the ring back or no?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
until not until we get um, more of a deal, more of an understanding. I may ask her if she's concerned about it. Um, you know, it. I if I'm
Actually,
if he's wearing it, are they able to track us, or are they going to be able to track us no matter what with it on the ship?
so are you asking her this
Yeah,
or okay?
because again, I feel like that also goes to her safety as well. So she might have a concern
Absolutely.
for it as well. If she has it and it cuts off their ability to track, then that's huge. If they have the ability to track us no matter what, then she might want to at least tell us, there's nothing you can do about that right now. So
Mhm.
it is what it is.
So she will honestly tell you the following things. She didn't track you thanks to the ring because of course she set this spell on the remains of the statuette that you had on board. So she was using that as a device to follow you guys. And she gave this information to
Yeah, she had told us that, but again, I'm concerned about.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
About the ring,
mhm,
she said, there's never been a device for me to track you down, and
mhm.
I don't know how, unless it's a witch of Obolowa doing it, there's not a way for uh, Julian Graves to follow you.
But if it is a witch of a bolo that he's working with, then there might be a way for them to track the ring.
Yes, but they need to, it's difficult. Like she said, just this, just it's very difficult because they need to know exactly which ring,
Hmm.
and so you need to be someone that doesn't just know the fact that you have the ring, but you need to know a ring and her as a person and have something of her in order to track her ring. It's like it's
Well, the,
not like a straightforward like a spell that say find me this ring. It's you need to be connected
mm,
with like you guys did when you tried to connect with Miguel's family. They needed you need the ritual needed something of Miguel's family in order
mhm.
to get to them.
Well, that's so when we had the crystal ball meeting with Graves, he asked for the ring. So he somehow knew that we had it. That was, and he'll say he'll tell her that we had this conversation with him, and that was what led us. That's what led me to think that you were in league with him because how else would he have known that we had the ring?
I was.
How hmm?
Gia made it clearly. I was.
Were you involved in that um, conversation?
Yeah.
Ah, well, that clarifies quite a bit. Actually, I didn't realize that. I thought it might have been someone else after the conversation we had at the hotel. So
No, I mean,
they,
I it is very clearly just Mr. Jarvis. I am not here to cause much more trouble than I already doing.
mm,
Let's say this. You stole from me, and of course, in my eye, you are not the good guys. Okay? I was mad, and I trusted Senator Graves, and I got involved with him, and I told him that I was able to track you down, and I talk about the ring and etc. because I wanted to make you feel that the ring was the reason,
mm,
pointing you towards something that is not what is actually the device that is being used to track you down is a very nice misdirection, don't you think?
certainly.
But after speaking with Graves, I started to notice that the man was a little bit too obsessed on this whole deal with Captain Kidd Treasure, and his intention were not really towards helping me.
Mm,
So I departed, and I decided to find you on my own. And as you can see, I was much more successful than him.
mm-hmm,
Speaking of that, is an intelligent man, so is probably looking for you already here. Not because I told him, but because if you guys put any voice around that you were going, what was it? Knees?
mm,
You need to stop by Aegeus. As a forced stop for everyone, so looking for you here is not a surprise.
mm-hmm.
Can he attack you or doing anything without breaking Aegeus' law? No, that's a completely different story. So, in that kind of way, you and me are kind of protect.
Mm.
However, that doesn't stop him to pay some Aegeus people to do his dirty job.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, especially considering after what he tried to do to members of our family. Um, we Miguel mentioned that. Um,
Yes,
he is he
that
is
is also one
dangerous
of the
and
reasons why I decided to take my leave.
mm, he
Uh,
is dangerous and twisted.
I don't like when people like. I don't like when children got harmed.
Yeah, that's messed up.
So even if Julian was just trying to get to them and try to gently invite them over, that's his words, not mine, of course.
Mm,
Blackmailing a man, a father, towards towards his children in order to betray the people that is on the ship or anything else he had in mind was already, I would say, was enough for me to change my mind about my alliances.
that's fair.
So I hope that that answer to your question and your worries about that ring.
It does. Helps quite a bit, actually. Uh, yeah, we had our feelings about the statue, but I guess maybe we should have thrown it overboard. But again, here we are, so it's all good. Can I roll insight on her just to make
Oh,
sure that
absolutely, you can.
I feel so? I rolled a 6, a 3, and a 4. I'll explode the 6,
I'm
and
rolling
that's another
on her
6.
side.
So that's 18. And what is that? Is that cunning? So that's plus 3. So that's a 21.
There's a 21 on your side.
Yeah. I only have 2 dots in that. Does the thing that Miguel gives me, does that explode?
No,
No. Okay. So
no.
it's 21. Sorry, Brian.
Well, no, I'm good. Sorry, that was me.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay. You can. I can tell you this. She seems truthful.
Mm-hmm.
She seems like she's honest on the matter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if she's actually honest or she's a very, very good liar,
Mm-hmm.
hard to tell.
Yeah.
I leave the character decide.
Yeah.
However,
I mean, I think that
Jarvis got the feelings that she is being honest at the moment.
yeah. Yeah. And again, I know she's a really good liar, so it's, unless she slipped up somehow, I wasn't going to catch her, but I figured I might at least try. Yeah.
No, of
I,
course.
I I tend to trust her. He feels like a lot of this stuff is clicking together properly, and that was originally what he thought. And so, with that meeting, so at least he feels like, okay, this is all starting to. A lot of this stuff is starting to suss out. I feel like there's a few things that we're still in the dark about, but hopefully we can figure those things out. And he's also starting to, find some comfort in the ring, at the very least, and know that it's not betraying him.
Hmm.
So I'll leave it at that.
Perfect. So we are going to move our spotlight for a moment on Miguel. I wish San, one of my players was here today, but unfortunately is busy. Um, but this is a moment that Miguel, you were waiting for weeks. They're here. You don't see them yet, but you know they are here. At least you got the feeling, the anxiety that they were supposed to be here. So when you put your feet on land and for a moment you got that change of, oh, this is terra firma, you don't need to adjust with the rolling of the boat. um, you are a little bit lightheaded, and at the same time you got this beating in your chest. Are they okay? But they already arrive. If something happens, you didn't get any news about your children for weeks after the ritual. You know they were on a boat getting to Aegeus, but they are actually here, and all your feeling, all your anxiety, or everything crash like wave against a rock the moment that in the crowd you hear the crystalline voice of your daughter screaming, "Daddy!" while she's running towards you.
Miguel turns, is like, Lucia, as he's like full of emotion. He rushes over and grabs her and picks her up into a troll and gives her a big hug, like he doesn't it's like, he just holds them and just doesn't even realize he's starting to cry that how worried he's been.
Without
Safe.
without even realizing it, you also feel the little arms and the little body of your son just grabbing your leg and just hiding his face in into you literally. um his glasses are all distorted because of the pressure. He's trying to, is not loud as your daughter, but at the moment both of them are here for you.
He puts Lucia in one arm, scoops up Lorenzo on the other arm, just embraces them. He's like, you guys okay?
Yeah, we are okay. I need to tell you about the fight on the ship. Oh,
A,
you need
a
to re
fight?
Yeah, yeah. Our new friend, Craven, he fought against this bad guy with a high patch, and there was blood everywhere. And and she started
As
to,
he's just describing it, he gets more and more worried face of what did they
yes.
go through.
And in so Lorenzo just slowly started to tell you what's happened, and you got a very more, well mannered and a little bit more soft mind, and more educated retelling of what's happened on that ship. And how this person followed them, and how Craven fight in order to save them, and how um, he was getting beaten when um, Lucia throw these things at the guy. It was throw off balance, and Kramer was able to land a fatal hit that saved him and your family as well. But unfortunately, we don't have Kramer with us tonight. So the meeting with him will be next time, or at least we hope we will next time.
I hope so.
Life get in the way sometimes,
It
and we
happens.
happen. However, your reunion with your children and with your mom then slowly is walking down the pier, and she had that motherly um, smile and open arm, just happy to see her son and happy to see that he's okay. And the first thing that she said to you, "Look at you, you didn't eat properly."
He starts laughing, like just uncontrollable laughing. I
You lost weight. You need to eat better.
mom.
Who's the cook of this place? I need to talk with them. You are. Look, look. I can see your ribs. By the way, you are ripped as usual. It's not nothing for
Yeah.
you changed.
I just you go on this death-defying adventure. The first thing you say is, "I'm not eating enough, Mom." Really?
She just put her hand on your face. I'm your mom. What do you expect?
It pulls her into a group hug. He still has both kids in both arms, by the way.
Yes, yes.
Like he's like at this point, Lucia's probably on his shoulder,
Yeah.
but they go into a big. He goes into a big group hug. I, I'm, I honestly, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I put you guys in danger.
Listen,
Like,
listen, listen, my, listen. Tesoro mio, listen. It's okay. It's not your fault. Okay? I know that sometimes life is difficult. Since she doesn't even tell her name, she's she's gone. You've been working so hard to make sure that we make ends meet. You've been basting between every single possible gig in order to make sure that those two little angels have the best in life. We know you're doing your best, and we love you for it. There's dangerous people in the world, and I just want to be sure that my Miguel is okay. And she just start to cry.
he's still crying. The tears haven't stopped. I I won't say I'm doing better than ever, but I'm here. I'm alive. And if everything works out after this last adventure, we could I I'll we can finally settle down. We'll finally get out of that slums. We can be safe. He starts stuttering and just okay.
And she just shh, try to calm you down. Just, it's okay. We are all here now. I will be okay. Now, don't you need to introduce us to someone?
Yes, actually, he turns. Is the whole crew just watching this entire scene?
Uh, some of the most curious one does. Some of the most respectful one are just keeping distance. I
I'm
let
gonna
you choose who is who.
Is Garvis or Rock or any of the other people
Rock.
he?
Okay, I'm gonna talk real quiet, but Rock is watching this, but he is very uncomfortable because this is the total opposite of what his life was like. So he's like spacing himself out a bit, and like the stakes are kind of coming down to like talk to him. Like he's all right, it's all right, it's fine. Shoot. And that's where he's at right now. He's sort of like uh, not comfortable around the scene, and he's kind of having a conversation with himself and his friends.
If I notice that you're uncomfortable, I will respectfully um walk around. But I'm like, I'll give you space. Uh,
Just to make sure that everyone understands, guys, this is happening on the pier in the middle of the harbor, so privacy is out of the question
oh
here.
yeah, obviously. We're having this scene right here. Everyone can watch. Uh,
Yeah,
he starts. Yes. These are the people I've been on. They've been watched. They are honestly. They watched my back. They helped me out, and they're the reason why you guys are here. The reason why you guys are safe. If it wasn't for, I got introduced to the captain. She's wonderful. She's a wonderful lady. Uh, he looks. He'll go and start. He sees if anyone wants to be introduced. If not, he's like,
um there is a few member of the crew, I'm talking about NPC here, that they are happy to meet the rest, the member of the family you talk about in the last few weeks. It's like uh, the rumors of the ritual and what you guys have did and etc. Everyone knows about it. So there is almost like a line of, so you're Lucia, oh mom, you're great. There is a lot of people that just want to know who they are, and there is a lot of hugs. Those people, those sailors, a lot of them, they have they don't have their family with them. They didn't even see their family in years. So the moment that there is a daughter, there is a son, there is a mom there, everyone is showing their most tender side. They are trying to get to know them, try to be closer, and some of even the most harsh one, like Omar, your healer on board, the official healer that pretty much never does anything. Even him is like he's keeping a little bit more distance, but he's still watching the scene, because he wants to be part of it. Um, the captain is the last one that will shows up on all of this. But we know what Rock is doing. What about Jarvis?
Um, Jarvis is sees this all beginning to happen and is actually keeping his distance. He's keeping himself busy about um, moving some stuff around, really doing nothing but just pretending to stay busy. Gets off the boat at some point. He seems a bit nervous and kind of finds his way around the crowd and off the pier, and it starts kind of moving away from it. I don't know how far he can get before he has to deal with officials or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but anybody who might notice it, and he might look over at Miguel at some point, and just kind of give Miguel a quick look, and Miguel would see tears in Jarvis's eyes, and I don't. Miguel may have been there for when uh, Jarvis talked about his own family and his own struggle in all of this, and so he's kind of keeping his distance because he feels like he's just going to break. He's sad. He misses his own parents, and but he's also he is happy for Miguel. He's happy that they're safe. He's happy that everything worked out in this, but he doesn't want to. He feels like he might just like start crying in front of everybody, and he doesn't want to do that right now. So he just begins moving away and just kind of looking for something that he's not really sure what he's looking for, but mostly just keeping himself away from it. And once he gets away from that, he can kind of clear his eyes and kind of go back to that stoic look that he tries to have, even though he knows inside he's just a little kid, um, uh, trying to protect his family.
Mm-hmm. And because of your very good high perception and investigation roll, I will tell you this. You also notice someone else that doing something slightly similar of yours. Quan maybe is shark feature that make him look like emotionless,
Mm,
or maybe it's the fact that he is your first mate, your bosun on the board. He is the one that makes sure that you guys follow the rules, so you keep that stoicism even harder than you do.
hmm
But strangely, it doesn't even look at them
hmm
like on purpose, or purpose is trying to avoid to look at them.
hmm
It is gleaming towards the ocean. is looking at what you guys left behind. And you got the feelings for a moment that he's ready to jump. But that's it. Because he shook his big, almost snout-like head, and he just go back to make sure that everyone finish their duty and make sure that, the ship is safe and anchored and, it reach the docking.
At some point, as I'm before I left the ship, as I'm kind of doing some of my busy work, and I see him still trying to get things done. I'll I'll catch his eye and give a little look over at the crowd, and then back to him, and just kind of give that nod of, yeah, I understand. I miss someone too, in a sense. Like, I don't say that, but just kind of give
No,
him
no,
that,
I
like,
understand.
that
It's
knowing look
hard
of like,
to it's hard to read into his black, pu pu pupilless eyes because they're
mhm,
just almost like a black bottom of his face. But there is this most like solemn moment between the two of you where there is a long stare and there's it,
mhm.
nothing.
Yeah, and at that point, I finish up what I'm doing, and I move along.
And those and on this beautiful reunion, while the moon sea lies glassy as a slate around the harbor, terraced hills rise from soft steppe, olives, rose, and pale farmhouse surround you. Those chalk white shire crows the headland bell, and beyond it, the sea key is surrounding you with smell of clay and fishers. Um, and you know, you guys start to also notice that there is a lot of work going on. A lot of ship has been dragged over, anchor and secure properly. Even if this is a moment of a wonderful reunion, a moment of joy all around you, people are worrying and working hard because Ocean Day is coming and it's just a couple of days away. And on that, we close session for tonight. Thank
Woo!
you everyone for
That was
watching.
fun.
Hmm. Yeah, that was